Welcome to Film Bluffs, a place for free-range, non-GMO, dog water opinions. So come on in, take a seat, and let's make fun of the kid with no internet.
I typed it wrong, but I kind of want to keep it.
Hi,
What did
I'm
you
Marshall.
I typed in Princess Brody.
It was my pick this week, and we watched Grave of the Fireflies. I picked this because I wanted to kind of watch a sad movie because I feel like I wanted to watch a sad movie. I was told that this movie was very, 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 very sad. I watched it, and this movie was just normal sad. I've watched other things this week that have made me cry more. Specifically, like there's a good 2 or 3 episode stretch of the medical drama The Pit. That shit was making me bawl like a little boy. Let me tell you that much. Like it wasn't even like because like when I watched Star Wars in theaters with my wife the other day, I just had like my eyes watering moments at the end. The Pit was making me like it was bad. It was a rough time. This movie did not make me do any of those. No bawling, no eyes tearing up. It was just like, this is in a series of unfortunate events. Not the movie, but that's what happened to him. Trace and Jobe, initial thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, solid.
Listen,
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good.
I was like 2 minutes away from a sunstroke earlier today, I think. So I'm not.
Maybe Marshall was right.
Yeah, I texted our group and I said they were having this whole witty banter back and forth earlier, and I just knew that it was gonna be a
Like
bad
this
episode.
Oh right, our
sarcastic.
whole Snapchat court scene.
Yeah, I just
Forgot
knew it
about
was going to
that.
be a bad episode, so I let them
Marshall
know.
knew
And Trace,
the second he saw us pretending to be lawyers.
because it's going down the fucking drain. I
Give
really do a great
give me
job.
another
Solid, a
chance.
great
Come
poll.
on.
We
Yeah,
do a
yeah,
great
yeah.
job of marketing ourselves, especially when people are like, all right, let's listen to this episode. And they get like 3 seconds in, and it's us saying how this is going to be a shit episode every
Don't
single
listen to this
time.
one first. If you're listening to this one first, stop it.
Go listen to Mazbeth's Dead Dad.
No, do not listen to
The
Massive
best
Dead
episode.
Dad. I'm not in it, and that's
Don't
not
listen
good.
to kicking, screaming, throwing up.
Go listen to a good
So,
episode like the Tron Legacy one.
I,
Power Rangers is a great one to get started
It's
on.
a
I mean, it's a
good
good episode.
podcast
It's just a
episode.
bad movie.
Shut the fuck up.
Real quick.
Every time with
No.
you, Trace.
I want to go.
If
If it pleases the court, I'd love to enter the rant zone, but for a moment.
go on, enter the rant
Course,
zone. I'll
course.
put like I won't. I don't know why I'm saying this, but
Trace, I need some. Give me some good background music for the rant zone.
whatever you're thinking, don't do it.
All right, welcome to the rant zone. I'm your host, Jobe, and today I want to rant about something. So you know, in the B movie, he says that it took 3 years of school, high school, and then 3 years of college, right? Which
That's 3
implies that
days.
3 years is equivalent, or 3 days is equivalent to 4 years if you're a B. However, the whole events of the movie takes place over like 2 weeks. He should be an old man by the end of the movie, but he's the same Barry Benson we saw at the beginning. Your Honor, this movie's a shit.
Are you done with the rant? So
Okay.
Rant over. And put like a cool echo on over.
no.
Marshall could not be caught dead editing.
The moment in time where one of you decides to step up and do something else in relation to this podcast, I will put a little bit more effort into editing. And
The
don't you
problem
dare
is-
say you're just the talent, Trace.
I didn't have to, clearly.
But you were thinking about it. I can see it coming out your mouth.
I was gonna say that eventually you're gonna have to take a break from editing, and I'm gonna have to edit because Jobe won't.
And every single episode will miraculously get corrupted. Oh no.
Probably. Or
Yeah.
either that, or I will just do anything that is told to be in it. Where it's like, Trace, base boost this. I'm like, well, I gotta do. He'd asked me to. I gotta
He
do
asked
it.
me to.
And they're like,
Anyways, I feel like we're
"Hey,
getting off on the
hey,
tangent
hey."
corridor. But the Grave of the Fireflies is a Studio Ghibli picture.
It's Ghibli.
I've been saying picture recently with movies, and it really rolls off the tongue. Anybody else?
mouthfeel.
Just me?
You do seem like you grew up in the 70s, so I guess that kind of tracks.
Listen, I used to like ask my grandpa, I'm like, yo, dude, why are you calling it picture? These are movies. He's like, but we called them picture back in the day. But I'm like, but they're movies. He's like, yeah, but it's a...
you're watching your stories today?
Then he explained to me that movies are just a bunch of little pictures all put together, and I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to me? These aren't.
You
It's
swore
not
at
a
your
picture.
grandpa?
And no, but that was in the mind of a
Mind's eye or whatever.
recollection. It's
So,
a dramatized
Movie
reading.
starts with
Anyway, the movie is in World War II era Japan,
post.
and we
No, it's current.
It starts
It's-
post.
Well, it does start post. He's right.
Anyways,
He's correct. I'm sorry, Marshall.
the
but
important part of the
he's
story happens
got your
during
ass there.
the war, and the main kickoff the whole thing is this cat Saito and his sister Setsuko are chilling in their house while the fucking Americans are firebombing Japan, and he's all like, yo sis, we made it out, we cool. Mom's probably chilling at the fucking elementary school. They get
Really
there and they're
dumb.
like, dog, your mom is like was on fire. And he's like, oh, she's gonna be cool though. Yeah, no, she'll be fine. 2 days later, okay, so
She's
she's
gonna need a
fucking
hand with your sister, though.
okay, so she's fucking dead, by the way.
Gee.
My bad. Do you have an aunt you can go stay with, right? And he's like, I fucking guess so, dog. And the aunt the whole time's like, fuck these kids, I fucking hate them. Not really, but it's more along the lines of her actual children are helping out and during the war, you know, making money, while these goddamn orphans are just, you know, moochers essentially. Even though one of them's a toddler, the other one's like what, 10 or whatever his age is. I don't think they ever say his age.
Picture him as like 14.
He's old
Yes,
enough. He's old
like-
enough to start working.
I would imagine
Little
he's like
bitch.
12, 13, 14, somewhere around there, like tweens, but younger, right? Eventually,
14 years old, Jobe. Good job. You can feel the animosity in him.
Dude,
Sounds like you're
selling-
trying so hard to make it sound white.
Dude, selling my mom's kimonos for a bit of rice.
I would like to sell my mother's kimonos. I am
What do you call it? A kimono?
my name's Saita, and my sister's name is Setsuko.
So Setsuko is just fucking devastated that this is happening because she hasn't been told yet that mom's dead, I believe at this point. Setsuko knows, aunt knows, pretty much everyone else knows. No, not Setsuko. Saita knows, the aunt knows, everyone else knows except for the little girl. Eventually, an argument with the aunt makes Saita go to the bank and says, give me some fucking money. I'm getting a stove. I'm getting my own shit. And we're going to live in the house. We're going to make we're going to do all our shit on the side because you're, you know, being an asshole about everything. Because essentially, the aunt said, sell your mom's kimonos for this rice. And then she used it to feed her own kids too. And then he's like, but that's our rights. And she's like, eventually they just said, fuck it, we out of here. We're gonna go move in this abandoned bomb shelter, and we're gonna live there. You know, us against the world. Fuck it, Bridge to Terabithia style or something. I don't know. And then they're like, dude, we can capture fireflies and put them in the bomb shelter as our light source. And then they do that, and then they wake up in the morning, like 200 fireflies are just fucking dead. And Setsuko's like, you know, these fireflies are dead like my mom. And he's like, huh? Who told you that, aunt? And that's what happened.
She knows my dirty little secret.
Eventually,
Dirty
as time
little
goes
secret.
on, Dirty little
The
secret. kids
Why
become more
not?
emaciated. They become more gaunt in their
Upset.
appearance. They run out of rice. Friendly farmers like, yo, dude, just swallow your pride and go back to your aunt. And Saita's like, I'm gonna go steal from people and break into their houses and try and sell their shit. But he does this during air raids, and there's scenes of him like being excited that the Americans are bombing his like country because he can go in and steal shit during air raids. Eventually, one night after learning that his sister is sick and she needs food, he goes to steal. He doesn't know this yet. He knows she's sick. He doesn't know what's wrong with her. He goes to steal from a farmer. Farmer catches him, beats the shit out of him, takes him to the police, and the police is like, I know you're trying to feed your sister. Sister gets really fucking sick. Doctor's like, dog, she is malnourished. And he's like, how the fuck am I supposed to fix that? I don't know, feed her. You're like, what the fuck? Eventually, he finds out that Japan has surrendered. His dad, who was a naval officer, is most likely dead.
Dad's dead.
God damn it. Turn this fucking shit off.
No, keep going.
Saito comes back to his sister, and she's like fucking hallucinating. She's losing her goddamn marbles, figuratively and literally.
Losing the marbles in her mouth. She's like,
She fucking dies. Saita cremates her body and her other personal effects in a casket, puts her ashes in a candy tin that has been kind of like an important part of the story, but it's been prevalent. And then he fucking dies a couple weeks later, which was the beginning of the picture.
spoiled the whole movie for us.
Yeah. Well,
That's
yeah,
what
the
we
movie starts with
do.
him going, I died on this day. But
This day
I don't
was
know.
the day that I died.
it's definitely one of those like,
Sorry,
hey, we have a message, and the message is war is bad.
Please stop it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, this kind of sucks. You know, I'm not the one doing this. But I see where they're coming from
I
of
don't
like the little person not really like, hey, these guys are all fighting in the war. It's the other effects of war on the homeland. Thoughts on the movie now that we've talked about the
Yeah.
summary?
It's kind of funny. So last night I had a dream where I was fighting Venom, but it was Topher Grace Venom from Spider-Man 3. But we were doing a crossover with Tom Hardy Venom. And they're like, we can't
Okay.
both be Venom. And so Topher Grace Venom basically got told that, like, his name is Rancid now.
And how is this funny?
You laughed at it, so you tell me.
But how is this in connection to the podcast? Stay on topic there, bud.
So it's in relation because this movie is fucking rancid.
What do you mean
Just
by that?
kidding,
Elaborate on your
man.
I
point.
hated it.
This is my first Studio Ghibli movie, and I don't feel like
Ever?
yeah,
Really?
That's surprising for you.
yeah.
You really seem the type.
Yeah. 30-year-old man child. I get it.
You're not 30, you're 45. Chill out.
He's damn near.
Stop telling people
You need
that.
to go home, watch fucking Howl's Moving Castle, and have a great time. Billy Crystal's in it. Fucking Peter Malark plays a little boy.
Yeah, I think
It's a great time.
Isn't
Castle
that the
had
one
been
with
my
Christian
first one.
Bale too?
Christian Bale plays Hal, not the castle. Hal.
The castle is
Christian
of
Bale
course
played the
played
castle.
by fucking Shaquille O'Neal.
That's true.
O'Neal,
Yeah,
that's
he did.
Irish. Is Shaq Irish?
Yeah,
I mean,
he is.
yeah, look at him.
No, the castle's played by the guy who plays Castle in Castle.
Frank Castle.
The
From
guy from
Bernthal.
Castle, isn't that fucking Firefly guy? What's
Nah,
his
that's
name?
Monk.
No, Monk's different. That's a
don't know.
I don't
higher
know.
class in D&D.
I want to make fun. I can't make fun of the movie because it's
Then you
very,
seem like an asshole.
it's very sad. But also, like, I don't want to sound like one of those fucking
I mean,
stupid.
it's sad for the dumbest reasons.
I don't want to be one of those stupid baby people that are like, this movie wasn't fun to watch, but there really is no sauce to it, like, apart from the animation, which is very nice.
Animation was good. I think it's just kind of like there's not a ton happening. The story is I feel like the story was moderately interesting. It's just kind of like, hey, this is a kid who's way in over his head, and this is his fault,
This
and we
is
can
the
see kind
story
of
of a
his fall
girl.
through it. This is the story of a girl, but in terms of how sad this movie is and the tone of it, you know that bit in Scott Pilgrim versus the World where the band comes on stage and they go, "I'm sad." It's like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they come and they say, "So
Not really.
sad." Thank you.
That's how the movie felt like to me.
Yeah, that is fair. I feel like because we don't see any of the good times, it just makes you kind of
That's not
numb
true.
to the
No,
bad
we do
times.
get some like
Yeah.
there's like the beach scene
We get some
glimpses.
sad times masked by little happy moments.
But the thing is,
I think
it's some of
because
those
though it
things
front
where
loads with sad stuff though, it just like
Yeah.
automatically
We're
makes you
only
go,
at this beach because our house burned down.
right. So like
I can relate.
straight,
even
shut
after the beach
fuck
scene,
up, Trace.
there's a dead guy, and he's just like, okay, and then there's a dead guy at the beach.
He's not like anything.
No, the older brother, he's like,
Oh,
don't
he's
look
like-
at that, move on. It's just like almost commonplace. And there was like an air raid sign right after as they're walking home, right? Or something like there was an air raid.
Oh,
So it's become such a commonplace thing that like it just gets ingrained in their life, especially at the end when he's kind of running back to his sister after hearing that they surrendered, and then he hears the plane overhead. He still dives for safety, even though they surrendered, so they shouldn't be getting fired on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
be kind of fucked up
if
they
there's
did,
one thing
but,
I've
like,
learned about war, it's that people stop
It never
killing
changes.
precisely when the war ends. Never a.
But it sounded like they had
mean,
ended for a while, and then
yeah,
he
but
was
you
finally
can't,
learning
you really
about it.
can't get like all that information out that quick. Obviously, he didn't know. I'm sure there was some allied forces that were still like, are we done?
I
Are we done?"
mean,
There was one
there's-
guy who dropped a couple of bombs, from what I remember.
but hey,
But like,
I don't know.
also, there's clearly he didn't know that the war ended. There's
Well,
probably
he was also
some
living
other.
in a fucking abandoned
Well, yeah,
shack,
but
Trace.
there's
Yeah,
also-
his
but there's
dad didn't know
also-
either.
well,
there's
his
also,
dad's dead.
maybe.
Most
But
likely.
there's also probably other Japanese soldiers who were not like getting that information super quick, so they probably still thought the war was going on for quite some
Probably
time.
because of the language
I think-
barrier.
The main thing
I
for
don't know about
me,
that part.
it's
The war is over. I don't know what you're saying. Pop, 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 pop.
the kid started pissing me off with how he just didn't ask for help, and like
Yeah.
even like during the scene
Because
where
he's
he
old enough to know.
Well, I
he's
kind
old enough
He's
to
an
know.
idiot.
I don't want to sound too ignorant, but like I wondered if it was maybe like a cultural thing because like the Japanese are big on like maintaining their pride and stuff, right?
Yeah, but
They're
at a
also-
cer-
but they're also
that's
taught to,
why-
like,
I'm getting that
respect
mostly from
each
like
other.
Godzilla.
No, I get what you're saying, but also like the farmer did make a point to say, swallow your pride and go
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah,
for
swallow your
aunt to take you."
pride, choke on the rind, find nothing
Oh.
but faith in.
Ooh. But even like his whole personality, you're getting like hints of it. At least I did when he was living with his aunt and how he was never like
Yeah.
picking up his dishes and kind of not doing anything and just kind of
Yeah.
like lazing around the house. Even though his aunt's like, you guys aren't like contributing, kind of like in a dickish way, being kind of taking advantage
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
also
plus-
he wasn't contributing.
Yeah,
he was just
he
selling his
does-
mom's shit.
He does also just kind of beg the farmer for food. I don't know. I feel like he could have been like, I can.
Yeah,
help you
like,
work
hey, I'll work for you if you
Land.
give me some food. Like the kid, there's two sides there. Where like, Ant's totally in the right. Yes, he needs to be, he needs to start pulling his own weight. At the same time, I feel like there should be a little. My sister just died, and these kids are probably super distraught. I'm gonna give them some time.
Was it her? I thought it was her
was it-
sister-in-law.
Oh, it might have been sister-in-law.
Because
I don't
they
know, they just
mentioned,
kept calling her
do
aunt.
you have family in Tokyo on your mother's side? So
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah,
think
yeah.
she would know if that was her.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But still, like, I don't know. I would imagine like a sister-in-law would still be a little more like,
no, like
Your mom
obviously,
did just
she
die,
still
I'll
took
give you
them
some
in.
time.
That's the thing, right?
Right.
She took them in, and
Just be a little bit more conscious of it, I guess. But also, yes, the kid needs to start pulling his own weight. The toddler, hey, don't fuck with the toddler. She still thinks her mom's alive. But say it,
Well, I
yeah,
think,
he could fucking. Saida could definitely pick up some shit and be like,
Well,
I'll just work around the
they're
house.
having their rice rationed, and even like the other kids were like making. I'm assuming they get more for working, and so
Yeah.
the only way for him to get more was to sell shit, and that's all he was doing. He wasn't like anything.
Go work in
And
a
even
factory.
when he got told his sister needed nutrition, he's like, "Where the fuck am I supposed to get?" Like, dude, just
Where do
go
I
to
get
your-
nutrition?
go to your
She's
aunt.
malnourished.
Stop eating
What is that?
just rice
Like an
and dried
idiot?
frogs. Like, he knew his sister was having
Yeah.
issues for a while before she finally
Yeah,
like passed out.
she's had very icky poo for days now. Days? Go get her checked out.
And
You
the
clearly know
lice
where the
in her
doctor
hair,
is.
and the rash on her back.
Yeah. Rash
Yeah.
along her back.
Like I said, dude, it gives Bridge to Terabithia. I don't know why. It just
Kids
does.
by the river.
Dumb kid hits his head on rock.
No, it was a coral.
Well, yeah, but in this
hit his
instance,
head
he's
on a
hitting his head on
coral.
the metaphorical rock, which is, I'm just a stupid kid. And I just want to play all day long and just live in a cave. I'm not gonna go say, sorry. Fucking dumbass. He knows what he's 14 years old. He should know what malnourished means.
Yeah, like
He
I
was
don't know
14
what
in
this kid's.
1942. Columbus just entered the
Hey.
ocean blue.
Yeah,
They
it's-
didn't bring malnourishment over yet. He said she's
They
malnourished, and he
didn't
went,
bring the
"What disease is
malnourishment
that?"
Blankets yet.
Yeah, like,
Here, put this around you, and you'll start gathering nutrition.
it was kind of like, oh, it's gonna be cute. They're gonna go live in the shelter or whatever, in this abandoned
Malnourishment
shelter. They're
It's
gonna hang
not a bad idea.
like it's they're gonna live there, but the reality is, it's a fucking toddler and a tween
Yeah.
trying to survive on their own.
He's not a
And,
tween if he's 14. That's just a teen.
Yeah, he's a twink.
Disagree.
A teen and a toddler trying to survive in the fucking like back alley suburbs of wherever the hell they are. That's like me going off in the fucking retention pond trying to survive off of crickets and
Yeah.
selling my mom's clothes.
Perhaps
And you would be eating worms.
I would argue
And you know it.
it's not really a fair comparison, but I don't know. I kept going back to Godzilla -1 while watching this because
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, it's that's the only Japanese movie I watched recently.
well, also like it's about the tragedy of World War II and it's about
Well, that one was about Godzilla.
but that one had a Godzilla in
Because
it.
of World War II.
But
Yeah,
it's never
Godzilla,
lost. It
World
never
War-
lost the emotional core. Like I would argue, I teared up a lot more for Godzilla than I did this one.
Oh,
No,
you know what? I
same.
get that. That's fair.
Same.
Mine also is probably a little bit detached as well, but like
I think
I remember times where I was hungry and I just went and got food. Like,
Why
not that big of a
didn't
deal.
Setsuko simply go to the
I-
fairway
I did this thing where I got a
bagel?
job. Am I pronouncing that? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Job. And then I used that money to pay for food
Actually,
and
it's pronounced
services.
job.
he's about to hit his boomer moment
No.
and go, these goddamn homeless people.
I'm
need to
just
get a
saying,
job."
he's old enough to understand he needs to take care of his sister. He's old
All
enough to
I'm
get a
saying
job.
is these bootstraps aren't going to pull themselves up.
I was working at 14.
Yeah, I'm working.
But that's 14
streets,
now.
getting your
That 14 back in 1942 would be like
Back then, people were probably working earlier. People were straight up leaving school to go work in a factory.
no,
He left
his
school to work in a
school
factory.
blew up and his factory blew up.
Okay,
You
but
could go-
before that, he's
His
left
man's like,
school,
you go-
went to
you gotta go work
factory,
at the
then
subway
blow
down the
up.
street. Nah, that one blew up too. There's a Pizza Hut a couple blocks over. Wouldn't you know it, blown up to smithereens. They say.
all these franchises are fighting. Jimmy John's keeps bombing Subway.
Jimmy
Godfather's
John's
keeps
bombed
going to
the
war with Pizza the
hell
Hut.
You know,
Nagasaki.
we are putting some hate on this guy, but when he's running with
am.
his
He's an idiot.
sister, like away from the firebombs at the beginning, he puts the moves on these firebombs, allegedly.
Yeah, he could have gone pro.
Man, those highly intelligent firebombs that are going for him specifically can't touch him. This
Dude, he was
kid's too
stepping
fast.
though all the time, and he's running. You know, he had his one good idea was go rob everyone's house while the air raids happen.
Now that's clever because he's like, I'm not gonna die, so I can go in there.
I'm not gonna die
So he just runs
because,
through-
as we saw at the start of the movie, I die at a later date.
I die at not
that-
today.
At the very beginning, when he's grabbing his dad's photo out of the photograph, I keep thinking of the Narnia bit at the beginning where he's like,
yeah,
"I
Edmund.
gotta get dad," and he's like, "I
Oh, I get dead. And then Peter's like, that's not our real father. That's a picture. We didn't steal his soul. Come on.
One line.
Come on!"
What was it? I think Voyage Dawn Shredder. Edmund was like trying to sign up for the war effort.
Because
Because he's a fucking idiot.
Then the recruiter was like, "Oh wait, why don't you fuck off then?" And then he says, "Ha, squid." And
Why don't you fuck off? Go find your father. Oh, wait, he died in the war, just like you will.
And
I'm doing you a
Edmund-
favor.
Edmund's delivery just like is walking away and goes, "Squid." And I'm like, nobody can take the British seriously.
Squirt.
So,
Will
you know,
do, sir.
there was that like 100 people versus 100 gorillas one gorilla argument.
Where's that coming from?
No. I got a point.
No.
Let him
I
cook.
want to know where the meme is coming from because I just
I don't
started seeing
know.
it everywhere, and I'm like,
I don't know.
what gorilla?
I did see a thing though recently, which is an evolution of
stopped him.
that: 100 British people versus 100 Americans, and the main
No diff.
topic is you just get 50 Waffle House employees and you're probably set.
Yeah.
You know, that's fair. You start throwing tea in random ponds, and like 5 British people just go,
So, anyways,
I think they'll have
this
a lot of knives though on the British side
Why?
because they love
you wouldn't
stabbing
bring-
people.
If it was fist fights only, I still think we would.
Fist
If it
fight-
was
I think
weapons,
it
we're bringing a
depends.
gun.
Like if I walked into the average Walmart, I feel like I could take on at least 50 people in there.
On your own
Texas,
at once
Not
or
at
back
once,
to back?
one-on-one.
Uh,
like-
next.
Exactly.
Next.
Yeah, you get it.
You'd get tired after 5 people.
Well, I mean, Marshall's there. He's tossing me water bottles. He's giving me Gatorade.
Hey,
yeah, I'm casting support magic in the background.
thank you.
Someone do a
Next.
someone do a
Wait, Tio.
Donald Duck healing voice for me
Oh,
while I
can't,
cast a
'cause I don't,
spell.
I don't know what it sounds like, and my Donald Duck sounds awful.
He doesn't cast a lot of healing magic. Just cast Zeta
Because
Because he's a
Flare.
bitch.
Slam a flare. That was terrible.
That
Anyways,
sounded more like Squirtle.
Trace, that was wonderful.
Thank you. Ow.
We mentioned that this movie has a lot of like sad moments, moments. I mean, this movie does have some cute moments here and there. But the fact is, it's usually like heavy hitting moment, really small, cute moment, and then it's just like another thing that fucking happens to this
And I
goddamn
got to the
kids.
point where even during those cute moments, I was like, who the fuck off. You're dead. I know it.
Like, I mean, there's a couple scenes where, like, oh, like we said earlier, they're at the beach and then they find a dead person, and there's another air raid, or they're, out catching fireflies, and she
raid.
decides that she's too powerful and kills
Whoa.
them with her fucking hands.
Sorry. I want them all to run out and have a party.
I think it's just trying to
They
show
already
us
got great
that,
music.
like, he doesn't think ahead super far on things.
No, he's an
Especially
idiot.
the big one with the fireflies and their mosquito net, because this mosquito
Fireflies.
net.
They've been looking for a cure.
The
Pretty good.
mosquito net keeps out bugs, but also keeps them in, so
Hashtag
they just
the
killed all these
last of us.
fucking fireflies. And just kind of scooping it. So they're obviously not thinking ahead on like what's the next. But here's the thing: I also did that as a stupid kid.
Oh,
This is tangent zone.
here he goes.
When I was a
crashing through
kid,
the gate
Marshall's
again.
privileged child life.
no, listen to this. You're gonna love this. This is in the same area where I was eating worms.
Tracy,
I had to open my automatic gate for the Fireflies if they wanted to move in with me. That was the worst.
Tracy,
And they wanted to swim in my in-ground pool.
I remember.
The towel boy said I couldn't keep them.
Did we talk about this in the last podcast? Marshall sent us a thing. Was like, if you had 2 or 3 of these 5 things, you were a rich kid. And then
We definitely talked about it, so I don't know if we did here now.
he was like, clearly wasn't a rich kid. No trampoline. And then I was like, I feel like this could be solved with one question though. Did you have a pool? And he was like, yeah. Above ground? He's like, no. In ground? And I'm like, bam. No poor person. That is
Bam, exile.
That is our God-given right to not have an in-ground pool.
And above ground, it would get ruined by our bocce ball court.
You don't have a court for. Do you have a court of bocce balls?
I know. I'm not rich enough.
Well,
I'm
not a court,
Irish.
it's just
We don't have money.
It's just an alleyway.
Exactly.
What's my tangent sec?
We
Oh,
played
I had,
baseball with a
Tangent
melon
zone
and a
music,
large.
go.
my tangent. No. It's a silent tangent zone
Oh.
music. That way I don't have to listen to Trace. Trace, shut the fuck.
I think I'm doing pretty good. Leave a comment if you think I'm doing good, but you
So
probably
I
can't
was
hear it because
just
the noise
trying to
suppression is
say
probably
that-
cutting it out. And I'm sorry for that. I probably look like an
Kids do
idiot.
stupid things and don't think about consequences, but that doesn't mean that they are smart enough to survive on their own. Like as a kid, I had this little like plastic terrarium thing, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go catch a frog and put it in it." So I caught like 3 frogs, put them in this little terrarium, gave them no water, and left it outside. And then I came back and I just fried 3 frogs in this
Oh my
fucking terrarium.
god,
Fuck.
you're a fucking monster.
I didn't mean to do it. I was done,
What is
kid.
wrong with
You
you?
know what? We should probably get out of this rant zone while we still have a chance, and get right into a delicious generic juice
You know,
pouch
Capri-Sun.
break.
The weirdest thing happened. I put all of these animals into this tiny black metal box, and then I put a magnifying glass so they can have a cool sunroof, and then they're all on fire. What the fuck is happening here?
Well, we'll continue that discussion after
Discussion.
this short break.
Discussion.
Welcome
That's when I
back.
told him,
I mean,
look, buddy.
I feel like the more
either
you bring it
buy
up,
or leave it.
and that's
I
exactly.
didn't see you there. We're back on our break. Today we're talking about Marshall's second favorite movie, Box Trolls.
Shut the fuck up. Why do you bring this movie up so
It
much?
gets such a
What?
visceral reaction.
It really does. Like we
Like,
run bits into the ground
unreasonably.
before, but
Dude, I think
Like,
it might have
we-
been one day he just kept bringing it up out of like
Like
twice.
I will give
no, no.
I will give
Really got
Jobe a
pissed.
reaction as a bit because I know certain things will like he's trying to do it just to annoy me. You're like genuinely angry. This is not for the podcast. This is a general
Like
a
if I
genuine,
wanted to cook some noodles, I would save that and then boil them in your blood because it gets your blood boiling. Like
So here's the lore for all our viewers.
viewers.
Oh,
For
Lord.
some
True.
reason, here's the
here's
what
the
happened.
lore. There was this kid named Eggs,
No,
right?
shut
and he
the fuck
lived
up.
in
Shut the fuck up. Shut the
sewers.
no. What happened was out of
Oh,
nowhere.
that's true.
It was like every day, 3 or 4 times a day.
True.
Job just
That
kept
is
bringing up
not-
fucking box trolls.
That is incorrect.
Okay, it was maybe one time, and I was very sleepy, and he brought it up, and it just made such an impression on me because I was trying to take a nap, and Job's just sitting there fucking yelling. No, it was because we were playing that fucking video game. Job brought
video
up
game?
box trolls twice or whatever, the stupid one that
The
sucked
classroom.
recently.
You brought up box trolls during classrooms?
I think I just woke him up to ask him a different stupid question, and then Madison texts me later. Hey, can you not do that? Marshall is like this close to going on a tirade.
Okay, Job brought this up like maybe a week and a half ago. And then Marshall was just so pissed off. I've never heard Jobe talk about box trolls in my life up until that moment. Ever since then, it's been a really funny bit that we keep fucking with Marshall on. He has never uttered the word box and trolls in the same sentence right next to each other before to me.
No, because
You're
I
like,
remember
he
exactly
says it
what
all
happened.
the time, but I'm like, never heard it.
Because it's not like, hey, you heard of box trolls? It was like, Marshall, have you seen box trolls? No. You should watch box trolls. I think you'd really like it. And then the exact same phrasing the next day.
I've never.
Now,
I've heard
for
you
the
talk
audience,
about box trolls more than I've heard Jobe talk about box
this
trolls.
happened like twice, and then like on the second time, Marshall was like, "Dude, I think you said that exact same thing like 15 times to me." I was like, "Oh,
I
by
want to
the
do
way,
this.
Marshall, have you seen?"
I want to do that stupid office prank where we like let a black cat loose, and then Marshall's like, "Huh, that's weird," and then we let an identical one loose, and he's gone, and then Jobe walks in and goes, "Hey, I think you should watch Box Trolls. I think you'd really like it," and then leave, and then 2 seconds later have Jobe come back with the exact same cadence and go, "Hey, you should watch Box Trolls. I think you'd really like it," and then just keep going and just
See, that's
gaslight
too much what
Marshall.
fucking happened.
But it did
and then,
though.
And then I said, no, I've not had a chance to watch box trolls since the last 45
I heard
minutes.
Joe bring up Box Trolls once, and then since then, like the next 3 times we hung out and talked, you were like, "He's gonna fucking bring up Box Trolls again." And I'm like, "You brought it up."
Dude, maybe you got hearing problems because of the tinnitus.
I mean,
you
no,
have
it's
from
not
your
the
house burned
tinnitus.
down?
My sinuses are kind of locked right
Marshall
now.
is-
Because your house burned down.
Marshall
It is
is
the sinuses are from my
Jacob,
house burning down. You're
and
right.
I'm Edward. I brought up the fact that he smells like a wet dog one time.
And he.
Well, that'll probably need cut. Hey,
That's why he likes your belly so much. Belly, where you been, Loca? And then Jacob runs over. Just,
Another kid. Listen, it's
Yeah.
this other movie that I've been on a tirade recently about of a Horton Hears a Who. Everyone pissing me off in that movie.
Yeah, not sure what that's about. You just brought that up one day, and I was like, all
or
right.
Did you watch it recently? Or
I don't think he.
I just kept getting a
refuse
bunch
to
of
believe he did.
I had a bunch of clips on TikTok of Horton Hears a Who clips, and it's like just the end scene where they're like, put that fucking
Yeah,
elephant in a cage.
you can't eat Horton Here's a Huge
Put that
too
on the
much because
cage.
it's got brownie in it.
I love Brownie in that.
Anyways,
He's like,
I'm-
Horton, I'm here.
Listen, all I want to say, I think it's just like a constant theme of like characters when they do stupid things, they just piss me off. The evil guys in Horton Hears a Who, they have kid pisses me off in this one. The aunt for being such an ass in this one kept making me upset. The girl, the little daughter, for just screaming all the fucking time.
God forbid Setsuko be a baby and not understand how to process her emotions.
She's a dog.
She's
I
like
can't believe-
3 years old.
Yeah, this fucking 3-year-old who just got orphaned.
She can barely talk.
Each day
the
is a
aunt
new
agreed with me.
traumatic event.
She's like, fire fly?
Cannot believe your eyes.
Nice. She got 1,000 hugs and then fucking died from malaria.
What?
Malnutrition.
Same thing.
No.
Dude, I think
They
the war.
both come from the root word of malice.
I think the war would have gone a lot better had America just before they started it got more hog riders.
Wait, who started the war?
America.
Interesting take. Okay.
Like I know they didn't really get in there until like 1942, 4 years into the war, but they
and the reason for that being Columbus, Ocean Blue. You understand.
get it.
you were there. You've read a book.
It was 1942. We just killed the last Native American. And we were like, now I need something else to fight.
Man, could you imagine it was the Japanese who bombed Columbus's little boat?
Dude, if
So
they
when
bombed
we were having
Columbus's little boat, that would...
We were having this conversation on this is gonna be a bad episode, and Trace goes, "No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great."
I think we're winning the people
Can't
back.
do it myself.
It's funny. It's
trying.
dragging us to greatness, and you won't let me.
My back hurts.
I'm sitting there like, "Hey guys, what do you think of the movie?" And Job's like, "You remember when we started World War II by bombing Columbus?"
I'm sorry that my shoulders hurt so that you can stand on the Giants or whatever.
What is that
So
bit
you
where it's like
can
my hands
remember
look
the
like this?
Titans or what have you.
Titanville. I've never seen
Actually, I
Trace
like
laugh
that
before.
one.
It's really cute.
I don't know. It got me so much.
Yeah, Trace usually never laughs.
That's
He's
true.
usually
I thought
the
it
It's
was
because
it's-
it's because I'm usually so depressed.
because you know your house burned down.
Nah, I'm kind
Never
of
got
over that
over
now.
it.
It's just funny
Oh.
now.
Oh, you've gotten over it.
I just use it
Unlike
as an excuse for
Setsuko
things.
and,
I still use it as an
Kaiba.
excuse for things.
bet you do.
Wait, what was the brother's
honestly.
name? It wasn't Kaiba.
Mokuba.
Yeah, it was Kaiba.
Yeah,
Shut
it's
up,
Kaiba and
Mokuba.
Mokuba.
Honestly, the dynamic
It works. It works if you think
tracks.
about it. Shut up, Mokuba. But
No,
big
but
brother, I'm starving to death.
Nah, Seto loves Mokuba way more than Saito loves Satsuka.
I don't know,
Satsuma or whatever.
But Kaiba also do be loving his pride.
Okay, now would Kaiba brush Mokuba's hair if he had lice, or would he immediately have that man?
Only if no one's watching.
Shade.
He
He
would
will
Kaiba-
only
No.
do it if no one's watching.
Homeboy would.
He would-
Kaiba would never do that.
Kaiba would
would
go
shave
right back
that
to his
man.
aunt's house, challenge her to a duel, and win her house.
I
from
don't.
her.
That's 100% true, but I don't think you understand how much Seto does for Mokuba. Mokuba doesn't understand how much Seto does for him.
I know, but I'm just saying I don't think
And
he.
Yuki's just
I think-
jumping
I
on him,
think
going,
Trace
"Give
is
me the
envious of
stars of your
Mokuba.
glove." And Seto's like, "It's the only thing I have. My brother and my company." And Yugi's sitting there with a gun,
It's
going,
all I
"Give me
have,
both."
my brother, my multi-million-dollar
Remember
company.
when Seto Kaiba threatened to kill himself if Yugi didn't let him win?
And that's reasonable.
Very reasonable.
What do we think about Saito popping fucking lice with his knuckles? Because that gave me the icky.
Again, I don't know. I feel like I knew about head lice at 14, but granted, I got that from an episode of Arthur.
I think
I remember that episode.
It's good.
when I was younger, my mom said some random kid in my elementary school had lice, and she's like, "If you ever have lice,
I'm gonna
we're shaving
kill
your
you."
fucking head."
I had lice
Because
as a
they use the soap. They use soap. If you have lice, we're shaving you. We're shaving. No lice in my house. And they're like, "The fuck's a lice?" So I just realized I should just never get lice.
Marshall didn't need to know what lice was because all of his manservants already knew.
I think
yes,
the
Master
reason
Marshall,
I
we
got
will
lice was
come you that
because
right
we
now.
had a Christmas concert and we were all wearing Santa hats, but I think
Aw.
I accidentally grabbed
Oh.
the wrong one.
I accidentally
The lice
grabbed
one?
the lice one. There's on the table.
You know,
There's lice and not lice.
I was looking at it upside down. I thought it said 371L.
It's just like that time I ran a 5K, but I accidentally got in the line for the 20K medal, so now I have a 20K medal.
Wait, does
Fuck
that act?
20K.
What? Yeah, it was a day of the dam. I was like, I'll do the 5K on that, and then I was like, I'm getting my medal, and they're like, oh, right over here, sir. And then I look at it like 2 days later, I'm like, well, that's a 20.
2 days later.
I didn't give a shit. It's a medal.
Trace one day woke up. He's like, "Why do I have 4?"
I'm running in my sleep. Jobe just went out and went, yeah, I'm here for my Santa hat. And they're like, lice or no lice? And he's just like, this place looks pretty. Huh? Yes, the first
Diet
one.
Coke, please. Lice.
They're like, all right, sir. This put this hat on.
That sounds-
Okay, weird tradition. Ooh,
Lice.
owie.
I will say I didn't have then, so that worked out in my favor.
I mean, that's not that bad.
I just want to put it out there. These guys think I'm very rich. I'm not. I think they were just poor.
They did that. Those
That
aren't
is
mutually exclusive.
the richest thing you've said. It's like, I'm not
That's
even
very true.
rich. You guys are just so poor.
Both things can be true,
No,
and they were.
no, you're exaggerating too much. I'm just a man of the people.
Yeah, the fucking rich people.
Just middle class America. It's me. This is it.
You're in the middle of the
gonna-
1%.
Greg's gonna decide to tune into this episode. He's gonna call Marshall up. He's like, "You're letting your friends bullet you for being middle class just because they were lecherous, poor people."
They probably have.
You
that
can't
for
speak to
cheap.
them anymore. And Heidi's gonna be like, why are you not bringing them around anymore? Father said I cannot.
Father
says that-
won't allow it.
No, someone just tell them you guys moved to fucking Iowa.
Dude.
Don't say dude to me.
Father
Iowa's a
told
big
me they
state,
couldn't use the private pool with all
No,
of
you guys
the
aren't
all of
allowed.
the fish eggs that we eat.
So you guys don't know how to swim.
I'm pretending I
I'm
don't know what the word is
actually-
because I'm so rich, but I don't want
I like to
see
think
it.
I'm a pretty good swimmer. Like, I'm not winning.
Dude, if I showed you the water, like the pool, you'd
The
be like, "Oh my god,
water.
is this the ocean?"
Behold my pool.
Look, the ocean in the palm of my hand.
Can you
You ever
believe
see
it?
was it you guys ever see the movie McFarlane USA? Where
No.
he's like, listen, I got a bunch of kids here that never seen the ocean before. That's you guys.
That's the
Yeah,
cross country
broke
one, right?
kids. Yeah.
That's a pretty
good one.
Mexicans.
I remember the
That's
fat
good.
kid's all like, "Why do I even need to be on the team? I'm fat and slow." And he's like, "Listen, as long as you're faster than your fat and slow guy, you're still doing us a service."
Listen, you may be fat and you may be slow.
And then he comes in. That's not Danny Diaz. That's not Danny Diaz.
That's Fanny Frias.
Fanny
Dude,
free ass.
We should watch Nacho Libre sometime.
Ooh, that's a good movie. Not necessarily a great one, but it's funny.
Tracy, you should pick Peter Jackson's King Kong for the next movie.
I shall not be swayed.
Peter Jackson's King Kong's mid. Fuck you.
Whoa.
Dude,
I
want to
do the really old ones that look like they're puppets.
You want to watch a real man's movie? You're gonna go online and look up movies and then pick one. 'Cause That's your world.
Earliest I can remember crying at a movie is either Marley and Me or Click.
I've never seen Click.
It was really sad at the
He
end.
has a heart attack and dies.
He comes
never-
to terms with the fact that the family's the most important thing.
Whoa!
and I'm
Don't
like,
spoil it. I've never seen it. I've never seen
oh,
either of these
also the
movies.
remote control is I can't say that word.
I haven't seen Marley and Me, but I do know Marley does biff it.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Like he was in a snowboarding accident.
He make it seem like he's just running through a field and suddenly dies.
No
Just
weapon.
dead sprint.
Speaking of dogs dying, you remember when they decided to kill off Brian and Family Guy and then brought him back like 2 episodes later?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I
He
love the
biffed it.
clip. I love the clip of Lois going, "Brian, our dog is dead."
Get in the Meg copter.
Stu's like, "That's man,
Oh, Brian.
Brian."
I don't know.
I'm Chris
Yeah.
Griffin.
That
There we go. I'm just gonna
is-
get ahead of it this time because we're talking about it. It's gonna pop
Dude, I
up.
didn't even think about it.
Now, Marshall.
We just did that unwarranted. I mean, there's been a lot of movies I've cried to. Spirit,
That makes
How
a
to
lot
Train
of
Your Dragon
sense.
2.
If you're gonna list them
Atlantis,
all, this is gonna be
Star
like
Wars.
a 6-hour episode.
Your cat's trying to eat your head.
Marshall's a very emotional man.
My cat likes to lick
He's
my
very
ears.
in touch with his emotions.
Yeah, so I can get him to do it. Rocky, lick my ear.
His entire tongue just goes through his ear canal.
Like an anteater. He's like the anteater of cats.
I'm trying to remember if I can think of what the first
Trying
time
to remember
I
if
saw you
I could cry.
while watching. Spear was probably the one where I was like, "Damn, this isn't just a bit. He's like actually full bodying this motherfucker."
I'm bodying up my crying.
Yeah. Well, because listen, you can do it just here at the eyes, or you can get the full body side where you're like,
Yeah, just
Like,
like you can get a
yeah.
little, like I said when I was watching Star Wars, you get like a little eye tear, a little watery, and you're like, "Oh, this is sad." But then
Yeah.
you like some movies, you're just like,
yeah, you can adult cry where you brush it away, and your kid's like, "What is it, Papa?" And you're like, "Nothing, boy."
Nothing you'd understand.
But then there's the full body cry where your kid would just be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?"
Papa, why do you cry today? Like, I just don't know, boy.
Completely unrelated. I was listening to an audiobook the other day,
Tangent sound.
and this guy did a voice for one of the characters. It was a man reading the book, but he was trying to do a voice for one of the female characters. And no, it just sounded like the world's greatest detective from the Adventure Zone.
What book is this?
It was called Beneath the Whispering Door. It's pretty good. It's about death
Mysterious.
and dying and stuff. That one actually did make me a little emotional because they described how this dude's dog died before him, and then he saw him as a ghost. And it was very sad. Because my dog's gonna fucking die. He's like 80 in dog years.
Which
Yeah.
one, Boomer?
No,
Actually,
yeah.
it's like 70 in dog years.
No, CJ.
His dad is dead. He fucking killed him.
He's a man of the dogs.
So,
He's a dog of
yeah.
the people.
We didn't talk about the actual movie. Not a lot happens, though, TBH.
You know what
Like-
happened during World
like
War II.
the-
We don't need to tell you all about it. We did horrible
Usually
things to the Japanese.
the summary is like a cliff notes.
they
of, like,
started it.
Here's the important things, but pretty much I
You
hit
pretty much
everything.
covered everything.
I mean, yeah, there wasn't much to.
There's
The kid's a
there's some
dipshit.
flaw-
He kills his sister.
If Trace
It's
did
definitely
the
his
summary,
fault.
it probably wouldn't take that much longer.
I mean, there's a lot of
I
like
hook up on something specific.
moments,
Actually,
if that
right.
makes sense.
Actually,
Like,
right.
you know, they're walking
He'd
or
get
just,
that
like,
one little
hanging
apple.
out.
Here,
Right,
try
they're-
this, sister.
That was a tomato.
Like-
What the fuck are you talking about, apples?
I don't fucking know, dude.
But like let me say, like, stuff happens, but it's not like plot relevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they drop the fucking potato in front of that guy with a bike or whatever, and then they have a weird scene.
And that's a
of him
federal
picking it up,
crime.
right? But like, and there's that one. Another thing with the fucking kid not like understanding the gravity of the fucking situation, where he came back from the air raid and he's wearing all the clothes and he like pulls out his flashlight and goes bang, like, dude,
He's insane.
like
He's like,
he's like
"Haha,
Trace.
My dad's gonna love this bit when he comes back. Bang! I'm a police officer. Yeah, I gotta get that
See,
down.
we're doing-
I gotta write
he's doing
that
it for
down
himself.
somewhere.
And he's, you know, happy that these fucking Americans, goddamn Americans, fucking Americans, you know what I'm saying, are blowing up his country.
I want the unedited version of this where his dad comes home.
His
He's
dad's dead.
like, hey, my family house, it's burned down. Well, I bet my wife and kids are probably very safe right now. Oh shit. Well, time to start anew.
Well, the funny part is he's gonna, if he was alive, he'd call his sister up and be like, "Hey, sis, do you know where all my family is?" And she'd be like, "Well, I know for sure the wife's dead. Your kids ran off." And then you're like,
You know that
Thanks.
cave we used to play in all the time? Yeah. Love that cave. Full of life. Well, not anymore. Your kids are dead in there. Sorry.
you knew they were down there and you did nothing.
You
Yeah,
don't
she
understand.
really just, like,
he didn't
the
do
kid's
the
like-
dishes.
We're moving out. And she's like, all right, have fun. She had zero remorse on them leaving.
No, and she was like staring at them like she's like, "Oh, I'm so. Why are they leaving?"
Well,
That's
I think
so
she was
sad.
looking at when she heard Setsuko laughing, because then she was
It's like,
like,
"They're
"Oh,
coming back." Oh no, they're
maybe
still
I
leaving.
was an asshole and they didn't."
She
look at
was.
me."
And even her daughter was like, "Hey, were you too hard on them?" And she's like, "Yes,
Oh, rubbish.
but they should apologize." Fuck off. You're an adult. They're children.
I guess
They don't understand.
Nah, one's a teen.
Ogre.
Ah, kid.
Ogre. I'd
Ogre.
give this one 6. 6 out of 10.
6. All right. Traisu.
It's a good thing we don't have anybody listening to this pod, because I feel like this one would be one of our hot takes collectively, I reckon.
Maybe I don't know. I feel like it does a decent job at showing, hey, this is what happened. This is kind of what life was like for the Japanese during World War II. Like, it's not really a super rich country right now, and the war's probably making that even worse for people. I mean, it certainly made it worse for us. But I still feel like the kid's way too stupid, and it's too sad for probably. I'm not gonna say no reason, but it's needlessly sad because the kid acts too stupidly. So I'm gonna give it a 5. Look us up
Yeah.
on Fiverr. I do little doodles of you guys for $5.
Similar sentiments.
stick figure, though.
It's just one of those. I couldn't. I
Sometimes
wasn't
with a
able to
hat.
get real. Listen, Trace, I was very respectful when you were giving your fucking score and didn't say anything. Would you mind shutting the fuck up?
I wasn't
for,
done
like,
with my bit.
No, you were done. You were done.
I
When
said
no one
you-
laughed, the
Hundo
bit's
Parker,
done.
I was
shut
laughing.
the fuck up.
Just trying to
Just saying,
say,
Marshall, give it a
I had similar sentiments to Trace, so kudos to Trace.
Marshall, I agree.
But now I take that back. My sentiments are my own original
This
thought,
bastard.
and I just wasn't able. It just didn't reel me in. I wasn't super interested while watching it. I was watching it, and I wasn't like sucked into it. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't suck enough.
I'm gonna give it
And
a
it should have.
5.00001.
Interesting.
That's a rough one for Marshy right there. Let me tell you that much.
Marshall gave. I think that's the lowest Marshall's given in one of his movies.
You're probably right.
No, yeah.
Well, this is probably the first one in a while that, or maybe ever. This might be the first one he's done for Film Bluffs that he hasn't already seen.
No, he's done a couple of them that he hasn't seen. I don't think he's seen The Man from Earth.
Not seeing Man from Earth or Everything Everywhere.
Yeah.
Or no, that's it.
He never really watched The Great Escape. Like that was definitely a firstie for him.
A Fall Guy. Haven't seen that one.
Well, that was new, so that makes sense.
This is the lowest
I was right there.
movie now. No, it's still Beekeeper.
You just had to get that
No
one.
way.
No, it's still Power Rangers. Don't even
Anyway,
start that shit.
Trace,
You
is this your
monster.
pick that you got in? for
Yeah,
next week?
I just want to watch it. I love it.
All right, we're doing it. This is gonna be a good episode next week. I already got a good
I
feeling about
can't
it.
wait to talk about the rat.
We're watching Princess Bride, baby.
Let's go.
Oh, shit.
The
Make sure
rat
to skip
terrified me as a child.
We should try to get
Make sure to
Max up
skip
on this
in
one.
about.
Oh, he would love that movie.
Make sure to skip in
You got-
30
you gotta
minutes
talk to him. He
after
hates
Trace
me.
does the summary.
Yeah.
'Cause as usual.
He's going into detail.
The Dread King, the Dread Pirate Robin. Okay, so you gotta understand, he's not actually, but he kind of is. So, what you gotta understand is this is a story that an
I
old man's
know more
telling.
than anything, though, is Marshall. Where the fuck can they find us?
Anywhere. You want me to tell them your
Just
address?
look. We are.
Yeah, tell
we
them
are
my
everywhere.
address.
Anyways,
just say
listen,
Film
folks.
Bluffs, and we'll hear you.
We loved having you here today. Thank you to our studio audience of my cat. He was really supportive. Everyone give him a round of applause.
He's so fat.
You, the listener, thank you for
So
you.
large.
You can follow us on Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and have a nice day.
Big old.
Bye.